Hunter.
Yo, it's truly good with you guys. Today we're going to cook up our own sample in Logic Pro, and then we're going to flip that sample and make it to something crazy. Let's get right into it. Okay, so we're going to start from a blank slate here, and I'm going to go into the new instruments here. So we can go to Studio Instruments, and then I'm going to go to Studio Piano. Then we end up with this plugin. I'm gonna go to the vintage upright wood. Yeah. Okay, I like what that is. So now we're gonna add some bass. So what we're gonna do here is go into the software instrument again. Then we'll go to Studio Instruments, and then we'll go to Studio Bass. We'll add some of that. That's crazy. Yeah. Woo. So we're gonna use some keyscape. Yeah. So we're gonna outsource here. We're gonna go to Splice, and we're gonna get some saxophone samples. That's cool. I actually like that. We'll get this. So let's grab that. So what we're gonna do is change that. So what we can do is go into flex mode here, turn the flex pitch on. And so now this is gonna allow us to transpose this. There we go. Yeah, that's dope. So then we'll find another sample here. Let's see what we can get. And this is gonna fill in that second half over here in this dead space. We're gonna go ahead and do the same thing. We're gonna flex this. It's literally perfect. We'll throw a little bit of verb on the second sax to match the first one. So we can outsource. Let's go to some Valhalla. And I love that we can search in Logic Pro now. We finally got that feature. We don't have to go through all the menus, which is crazy. And what's also crazy about Logic is if you click on the region and do Command and U, the locator will, or the cycle loop will cycle around the region that you selected. So that's a nice little shortcut for convenience, for workflow. Now guys, if you're getting any value out of this, feel free to smash the like button for your brother. Also, I have a Logic Pro Masterclass available for you guys where we break down all of these concepts, where we go from the basics of Logic Pro, understanding all the buttons, all the way to your final mix in master, using all of the latest features in Logic Pro 11. Guys, if you really want to take your Logic Pro experience to the next level, I highly encourage you to enroll in the Masterclass. I'll leave that tag below for you guys. So now that we have this vibe here, we're going to highlight all of these, and then we're going to do Shift, Command, and D to give us a track stack. And we can actually affect this all as one sample now, if that makes sense. So the first thing I'm going to do is apply some hex effects, make this sample sound like super old and beat up and dirty. Perfect. So we're going to EQ this out a little bit. You could also do track stacks within a track stack, which is kind of dope. So we'll take this and we'll do the same thing, and we'll name this sax. I need to tweak this sax a little bit. There we go. Get rid of some of that boxiness. Okay, much better. What's crazy about Logic is you have the option to bounce tracks. Okay, so we're gonna come over here to File, then we're gonna go to Bounce, and then we're gonna go to the track in place here. This is going to be Control, Command, and B. So we're gonna bounce this track right here, the sum. We're gonna name this Jazz Sample. All right, and then we can include the volume and pan and all that stuff, and then we're gonna hit OK. So now we have our sample as audio. Drag this sample into a new quick sampler, and we can do original. And so now we're gonna change this to slice, and then we're gonna change this to beat divisions. All right, and then we can actually alter this here in the division here to get how many chops we want. All right, so what we're gonna do now is change this into, let's say, a boom bap vibe. And I'm gonna use my chill hop kits today. You guys can get that. That'll be tagged below for you. We can go to our sample chop and add the chops to the groove. What I'm gonna do is throw the God particle on this. Yeah. So now what I'm gonna do is throw some new bass on here. And so I'm gonna use my Subsequent 37 expansion pack today. I won't use the actual Sub 37 because I want you to see how the expansion one shot works in Logic Pro. I'm gonna do the Smooth Criminal so it can cut through a little bit more. So all we're gonna do is take the Smooth Criminal, drag this into our sampler here, but this time I'm actually gonna use the full-blown sampler because I want some more control. So now we have this on the sampler. Perfect. And then I'm just gonna EQ this kick and get some more of the beater. Yeah. So if you look here, the kick here is kind of peaking somewhere here around 47 Hertz. So what we're gonna do is go to the bass and then go to the EQ and take out some of that frequency. Then we could just duck that just a little bit. Let's narrow this Q and just duck it just a tad. All of a sudden we get a clearer low end. So same thing with the sample here. If we open up the EQ, we got a lot of energy coming there in that same frequency range. So we can roll off some of that too on the sample that we did. So that's a nice way to unmask your mixes. Just start creating space for the bass and the drums, especially if you're doing boom baps with a sample. if you guys got any value out of this video, give your brother a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss anything else from the channel. And I'll holler at you in the next one. Peace.